Hello and welcome to Happy Horror Time. My name is Tim Murdoch.
And my name is Matt Emmert, and we are here with your news commentary for the week. Now, the first story, breaking news, actually not breaking, but
It is breaking.
It is breaking because the final trailer for the new I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot or sequel or whatever the hell they're calling it nowadays.
Prequel reimagining.
Just dropped. And we definitely got a lot more of a look at this movie, including more of Jennifer Love Hewitt and more of Freddie Prinze Jr. And, you know, Tim, I was going to get your thoughts on because, okay, the first thing I noticed was this trailer starts with all the friends at their friend's bridal shower. And I guess it's the year after the accident. And she gets the note that says, I know what you did last summer. Ready for my first thought?
Yes, please.
Okay. Usually doesn't the accident break up all the friendships and then they like don't want to talk to each other? So what are they doing at her bridal shower?
Maybe this is the big difference. The friendships stuck together.
They're like, you know what? After causing a fatal accident, I just want to be closer to you.
Well, if you really think about it, the first I Know What You Did Last Summer is so serious. And then the sequel is like so much fun and so much different tone that I also want to know what happened at the end of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Remember when she's just sitting on the bed and the fisherman, like they didn't know, hey, there's a big fisherman under the bed.
They're going to be like, that was a nightmare or something. But we did get to see more of, well, the first thing, we do see more of Jennifer Love Hewitt talking to one of the characters, but it looks like, okay, so the only thing I'm worried about is I just hope that they're not going the Scream 5 route where like they seek out, you know, like Dewey for advice and he comes and helps for a little bit. Like, and I'm getting the feeling that maybe what Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr.'s roles are gonna be. Like, I want them to be involved in the main action, and I'm not sure from that trailer. What did you think?
I didn't get how the young cast is, you know, I didn't get it at all.
They said we got to turn to someone who's been through something like this.
But it obviously takes place in the same town?
Southport, yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's the connection.
What I got from the trailer is that Freddie Prinze Jr. is still living in that town. Probably
is he a fisherman?
Probably still a fisherman. And apparently Jennifer Love Hewitt is a professor at probably a nearby college. And I did love that in this trailer they had more newspaper clippings about the tragedy and another one with Sarah Michelle Gellar on it. And I saw a frame in this trailer that I thought was really cool. The fisherman is standing next to a float that says Croaker Queen on it. I don't know if you caught that.
Is the Croaker Queen having a moment?
You can go now.
Newsflash, Julie.
Newsflash, Julie. Helen doesn't have a New York number. If you want to talk to her,
she's in fragrances.
It's like she's like pathetic, isn't it? She's the worst sister award goes to.
You know, she got it good.
Elsa Shears.
But you know, I also want to know if Jennifer Love Hewitt gets to sing "How Do I Deal" again.
She doesn't get to sing "How Do I Deal," but the trailer ended, and I know it's cheesy, but I'm such a sucker for an Easter egg. It ends with Jennifer Love Hewitt saying, "What are you waiting for?"
And I didn't even see Brandy.
Brandy, I mean...
Where's Ben's son? Is everyone forgetting?
He's dead. And Brandy, if at most Brandy will mention, like, you know, Carla is out in New York doing something.
If it is just a mention of Brandy.
It's totally going to be a mention.
Oh,
I know. Although, what if it's like an Exorcist Believer cameo like Linda Blair had at the very end?
Spoiler alert.
Oh my God, sorry. If you haven't seen Exorcist Believer,
you're
Linda
not
Blair.
even a fan. What are you doing here?
Okay, there is one thing though that I wanted to mention about I Know What You Did Last Summer that I didn't see in the trailer because they have all these cast lists of everyone in the movie. And there are two people that I've seen that I know these actors, and I have not seen them in the trailer. The first is Billy Campbell, and he's more like Jennifer Love Hewitt's age.
The Rocketeer?
Yeah, he's
older than Jennifer Love Hewitt.
He was in a split second of the first trailer at like a town meeting, but otherwise he isn't in the trailer, which makes me think, okay, is he the fisherman?
I think he is.
Second person, Nicholas Alexander Chavez, who was in Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez thing.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the movie, and he's young, and he hasn't been seen with anyone.
He's one of the brothers?
He was one of the brothers in the Menendez
Right. Oh, wow. He's a big one. I'm actually surprised they're not putting him on screen.
But what I'm saying is he the killer? Like when you put a cast name and you don't show them with the main people, the only thought is, are they the killer? Anyway, I don't know. I'm just speculating based on seeing these cast lists and not seeing these people in the trailer.
I mean, no matter what. I mean, yes, I want to know what happened when, Ray and
Are Ray and Julie together?
Ray and Julie, when they bought that house and like she hit the sign and she goes in and like she's brushing her teeth. Oh no, he's brushing her teeth.
And he's like, I love this thing. I love this thing.
I mean, are they the most boring couple?
I'm sure they were, which is probably why they broke up.
I mean,
also, this is what I'm thinking. They're going to have one scene and be like, so are you with Ray? And she'll be like, he could never move out of Southport. I just couldn't stay there.
Isn't that the same with Gail and Dewey?
Exactly.
She's like, 1 minute in Woodsboro.
It's like, or 1 minute in Woodsboro is like 10 hours in real life, or is it the opposite?
I don't know. Listen, I can't quote everything.
Anyway, we are excited about this movie. It's coming out in 1 month, actually, almost exactly a month on July 18th. Yes.
Why aren't they opening it July 4th? Isn't that when it takes place?
Actually, that's funny because July 4th is a Friday this year.
I don't know. That just seems like I don't work at a movie studio, but what a missed opportunity.
You know why I think? This is my speculation. It's like the same reason you don't open a Halloween movie on Halloween. You want to give them like a few weeks before to build up. So maybe they know it's a July 4th movie and they're like, let's get people excited before.
I would ditch my family.
I think you would. Yeah. Okay.
I love my family.
Next story is that Ryan Murphy confirmed that American Horror Story is going to have a season 13. And Tim, you're excited about this. Sarah Paulson is returning. It is her first time in 4 years was her last appearance on American Horror Story.
Sarah
so what do you
Paulson
think?
Is my favorite. And when I used to play kickball, she was on the back of my shirt.
Yes, that was when we were, by the way, so we've talked about this on the podcast. We were in a gay kickball team, but we talked about Scream Queens, where we were all Scream Queen. We also were on another team called American Homo Story, and we were all American Horror Story characters or actors. So yeah, that's what Tim's referred to. But the thing about, he said nothing else about the season. He just said apparently it was a reply to someone's comment on social media, because Ryan Murphy replies to people's comments.
Well, I'm actually surprised that like anyone's taking notes from the audience. Well, I guess that's good because we're the ones watching it.
They asked him about American Horror Story season 13, and he said, quote, Sarah Paulson and I are cooking up something cool.
That's cool.
Okay, but here, okay, I'm excited about Sarah Paulson too. Love her. She is one of the greatest stars of that series. She has played some of the best and most memorable characters across all the seasons that she's been on. With that said, I didn't even watch last season, Delicate, because I watched one episode and it was awful. You told me you stuck through it.
I watched a good 6 with her and Kim Kardashian and Emma Roberts and some about a baby. I don't even know what was going on. I watched 6 episodes. It's like a music video, but without music. I don't know what I was watching.
So you gave up.
I did give up.
But what I'm saying
But if it was Sarah Paulson, I would stick with
Exactly. I don't know what didn't make it work. Maybe I should have given more time to it, but it just didn't work. And I'm hoping that because of season 12 not working, that maybe it's like now they're approaching it with new, fresh eyes, aka Sarah Paulson. And I don't know, it's season 13. Shouldn't they do a I don't know,
Friday 13th? I don't know.
Well, they did that 1984 series.
That's true.
Though,
that was good.
Season.
That was good.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but even that kind of went off the rails.
Oh my God. It started great. It was like a summer camp slasher story, and then and American Horror Story always does this. They have a great idea in the first half, and then it spirals out of control.
I actually don't mind when it spirals. Like, I thought Colt went off the rails, but I kind of like that. And what was the one called? Roanoke? That
switched halfway through.
I liked that.
Yeah. I mean, but there were reasons for Colt was supposed to be crazy because it was Colt. Roanoke had the swap of like the reality TV type thing. 1984 just went off the rails out of nowhere. Started strong, yeah. Okay, so next news story, and to get our thoughts on, is apparently Adam Greene, who is the director of all the Hatchet movies. He was asked about Hatchet 5 and what's going on with that, and he said on the Talks from the Crypt podcast, he said, once we can make the movie with different entities at the top level behind the scenes, then I'll be interested in doing 5. But things need to change. Apparently, the creative team behind Hatchet is they're all hunky-dory, great. They want to do Hatchet Part 5, but apparently they've said he will never do it under their current management. They need new management. Now, that makes me think, is there some sort of Weinstein Brothers situation going on with the studio?
Well, Part 4 was Victor Crowley, right?
Yes, Part 4 was Victor Crowley.
Okay, because I was like, I don't remember a movie where there was an actual 4 in it.
Yeah, it was Hatchet 4, but it was called Victor Crowley. I don't know the studios that release or distribute the Hatchet movies, but he was throwing them under the bus.
I mean, he started it, so he wants to finish it.
What are your thoughts? I like the Hatchet movies. Yes, they're over the top with gore, but they're fun slashers. Danielle Harris is in a bunch of them.
Felissa Rose. I think I really liked the first and second. The third is a little muddy for me, but I think Danielle Harris is the star of that one.
What happened was she took over Mary Beth, the final girl's role after part 1. The actress didn't return, so she's Mary Beth in part 2 and part 3, and she has a cameo in Victor Crowley at the end where she's like gonna hunt him down. So they leave it open for more, and I'm sure Danielle Harris would do part 5.
Totally, and I really liked Felissa Rose in Victor Crowley because I think if I remember correctly,
she gets a really horrible death.
Her arm was torn off and then stuffed down her throat with her cell phone still in hand. So I was like, you know what? That's good.
Wow, that is a good memory, Tim. That's a memorable death. But that's the thing. Before Terrifier existed, because Victor Crowley came out in 2017. Well, I guess Terrifier had been out, but before all the fame and hype.
Terrifier tone is so much different than Hatchet.
It is and it isn't, only because Hatchet would take a death and overdo it. Terrifier will take a death and overdo it, and then overdo it again, and then overdo it again.
But the tone is like Terrifier is trying to scare you, whereas Hatchet's trying to
make you laugh
a little bit. Yeah.
It has the horror comedy aspects. I mean, Kane Hodder playing Victor Crowley is scary, but because the deaths are so over the top, it becomes a little.
Has Kane Hodder played it every time?
Yes, I think so.
Wow.
I think so.
I'm holding you to it, Matt.
I hope they don't do a Freddy versus Jason to him and be like, hey, we rehired someone. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So another newsworthy piece of information that we read about was there is a new documentary coming out on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre called Chain Reactions. Get it, Tim?
Chain. No, break it down for me.
Okay, so it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. So they call it Chain Reactions because reactions to.
Do you remember the 1996 movie called Chain Reactions starring Keanu Reeves?
No.
Okay.
Is it worth remembering?
I clearly remembered it.
What is it? Like a sci-fi movie?
No, is this like a sci-fi thing?
Is this like an internet thing? Wait. No, actually, I don't even want to know.
I think it's just like an action movie starring Keanu Reeves, and I think the title was called Chain Reaction. Fun fact.
That's funny. So, okay, it's being made by documentarian Alexander Philippe, who he made a documentary in 2019 called Memory, The Origins of Alien that I'd actually like to watch. I haven't seen. But anyway, the whole point of this documentary and what makes it different from other documentaries about Texas Chainsaw Massacre or these films is that it has 5 different artists that are talking about the impact of the film. And these are the 5. The first is Stephen King, who we all know.
Familiar.
Acclaimed horror writer. The second is Patton Oswalt, who we all know, actor, comedian.
Do you know who his wife is offhand?
His first wife died.
Right.
I remember she was doing a murder documentary into the Golden State Killer.
Right.
Who's his current wife?
Meredith Salinger from Dream a Little Dream and the horror film The Kiss.
Oh my God.
A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon. I love Meredith Salinger.
Wow. Okay.
I'm jealous of Patton Oswalt.
Okay. The third artist on this documentary is named Takashi Miike. He's a Japanese film director. Fourth one is Alexandra Heller Nicholas. She's an Australian film critic. And then Karen Kusama, who was the director of Jennifer's Body. So it's a very diverse group of people, and the whole documentary is how they're discussing the impact of this 50-year-old film. But what he said is the goal of the documentary is to forever change the way you watch or think about this film. And that I find intriguing because this film's been around for so long. We've seen it a million times. What kind of insight is going to change our opinion? I mean,
just recently I've, I understand why Texas Chainsaw has lasted, and I get like the overanalyzing of it, and it's really effective. And before I didn't really care for it, but now I really do. So I will absolutely watch this.
And that's the thing. I'm really interested because like taking a critical look at this film that's 51 years old now, I think it's going to be really interesting, especially to see what these people think, because it's one thing when you do a documentary and you talk to the cast and crew, but like outsiders who have some sort of tie to the film industry or to horror or something and giving their insight, I think that's interesting.
I will absolutely watch anything Stephen King puts out.
Oh yeah, well I mean he's one of the 5, but he'll probably have a lot to say about it. So currently this documentary is being screened at film festivals, but it will be released later this year. So I'm hoping sometime maybe in the fall, we'll see. Okay, so this are just some two little fun news items that we have to close out our news commentary. The first is, and I think Tim will especially be happy about this, is that a new Jason universe themed haunted house is coming to Universal Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Woo!
But this is what I think makes it sound cool. So if you're unfamiliar with Halloween Horror Nights, they have it at Universal Studios Hollywood and Universal Studios Orlando every year. It's like September, October, and basically it's all haunted houses based on movie properties, and they're really well done. Tim and I have gone to the Universal Studios.
And you know,
one.
I'm a man of a certain age, and I always say every single year, I was like, this is my last time going.
I know you go again, yeah.
Well, and this year I will have to go because it's Camp Crystal Lake related.
It's very expensive, the tickets, because if you want to get into the haunted house, it's so popular, like you got to get a friend of the line pass. But with that said, apparently what they said about this haunted house is that it's going to take guests back to Camp Crystal Lake, of course, and you're going to be going on a, quote, vengeance tour. Apparently you'll navigate through Jason's ramshackle cabin, the woods, and the main lodge, and it'll be filled with killer moments from Jason's entire on-screen career. Now that sounds fucking awesome.
No, I absolutely love this idea. I will totally go. The only thing I do not like, and this is just minor, I don't like it being called Jason's Universe, and I don't particularly care for the mask that they use as the symbol.
Well, to be honest, I don't know if that's how they're describing it. I don't know if that's gonna be the name of the haunted house, but apparently what I gather is when they say Jason Universe, that just means it touches everything related to Friday the 13th, which could probably seem like it could get really complicated. But I'm hoping that maybe with this haunted house, you go through and they do like a kill from part 2 or a kill from part 4.
I want to know. Yeah. I mean, I want to see what I grew up with.
Like, that's the thing. I want to see moments from the really big films. I hope it's not like random kills in the woods. I think, well, like people want to see stuff they know.
I'm sure they'll be very creative.
You know what's funny is that Halloween Horror Nights is starting in Orlando on August 29th. Doesn't that feel early?
That seems so summer,
I love
but
it,
I get it.
And it's starting in Hollywood on September 4th. I'm telling you, I always say this, as soon as Labor Day weekend's over, it is spooky season,
And
Tim.
then turkey, and then Christmas, and then it's over.
Hey, let's not rush it. Halloween. Okay, last piece of newsworthy information to comment on in this commentary is there is a new Evil Dead in Concert tour that was announced. Basically, what they're doing is they're going to be showing a newly restored version of the film The Evil Dead, and it's going to be paired with a live orchestra performing the score. Now, that's really cool. They actually do that a lot at the Hollywood Bowl. They're actually doing that with Jaws on July 5th.
I saw it with Back to the Future.
Okay,
I
yeah.
would, I would absolutely love it. Yeah, it's really cool. It's like, na, na, na.
And they're so when you see it, and I have not seen it with it. I've seen like a John Williams thing at Hollywood Bowl, but not like with any specific movie. But anyway, apparently this tour specifically, it begins in Buffalo, New York on September 22nd. It's going to be hitting 50 different cities all throughout the fall. And get this, we're lucky for this. There's going to be a 3-night event in Los Angeles right around Halloween. Now, if you want to look for tickets and see if they're actually performing this in your city, you just have to go to evildeadinconcert.com, evildeadinconcert.com, and you can see they already have tickets available. And that looks really cool because it's one thing to watch a movie, it's one thing to hear it on great, an audio system, but to see a live orchestra perform the score is really cool.
I would love to see Friday 13th, obviously.
Oh my God.
But I mean, like, I know The Evil Dead, but I mean, also like Sleepaway Camp, that has a really effective score.
Yeah. Now, I feel like I could see them doing it with Friday the 13th and Halloween and like performing the score. I'm not sure if Sleepaway Camp has reached the level that Evil Dead has, which will get it, but I
just want to hear Angela's theme.
Angela's theme. I want to hear them say, "Hey, Angela, why are you so fucked up?
Beat me behind whatever for the social."
Yeah, I thought you were the killer.
I thought you were the killer.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, that is the news for this week. Thanks for watching. Oh, actually, let us know your comments on all these things. We didn't even ask for it.
Give it to us.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.